Hello everybody, Mitch here, and I just wanted to give a brief update to my time on Windows this weekend. Now, I should say, as a disclaimer, I haven't really done much. I pretty much just got the setup that you see before you. There's a few apps that are installed, and that's basically it. I installed a browser, I installed Emacs, I installed their terminal, and I added a shortcut for Emacs, which took a little bit of doing, but it wasn't a very big deal. Also, there's a bug in this version of the Windows terminal that makes it so when you try and, basically, if you try and open a icon select window to do the thing, it breaks. Anyway, not important. So this is stock PowerShell. I did download my .dot files, and I've got my user Emacs directory active, but by the way, this is terminal Emacs. I also have graphical Emacs, same deal. The problem with graphical Emacs, though, is the background is solid. Background transparency does not seem to work with the new Emacs. Not the GNU Emacs, but just the new. Even this is Emacs version 30.0.50. It's if we just take a look at the default frame A list, alpha background is set to 65 here, but the background is actually fully dark, so that's a problem. My workaround is to, as you can see, use a terminal window, which is translucent, transparent, somewhat, and just run Emacs in that. This has a couple problems. For example, the colors are a bit off. Italics doesn't work. This is supposed to be italics. And my cursor doesn't change shape. As I'm pressing I right now to go into insert mode, as it says on the bottom of the display there, but the cursor does not change. There is a package that fixes that. It's called Evil Terminal Cursor Changer. Yeah, that's what it's called. And I have used that on the past. It works on most Linux terminals, all of the decent ones. Kitty, Alacrity, the GNOME, and XFCE default terminals works fine on. It probably even works in just base Xterm or the Xterm clones like DRXVT. Either way, it does not work in the Windows terminal for some reason. Oh dear, what did I just do? Okay, apparently if I swipe up with 3 fingers, that's a task view. But if I swipe up with 4 fingers, that's also a task view. Okay, so up and down with 3 and 4 fingers are the same. But 3 fingers to the side is just like Alt-Tab. And 4 fingers to the side is like 3 fingers on GNOME. It is smooth like GNOME. I like that. I'm not sure how they managed that on Windows, but I'm glad they did. This is the OBS window I'm using to record this. As you can see, there is also a task manager down here. I've got it sorted by CPU, like I like it. And I just realized that my oh wait, can I do this? Like up, no, yes. Order, move up. Order, move up. Where is it? Where is it? Droid Cam, OBS. Oh dear, I just realized my cam isn't connected. That means this is all recording to the computer. That means there's no face overlay. No, the face overlay comes from. Oh, no, this should. There it goes. Okay, we're good. Hi, see me. I am here. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to go over my setup quickly. This is how I'm doing things. I'm using the Scoop package manager. It's pretty decent. It is written in PowerShell, I believe. Yeah, you can kind of see how the columns are oriented there. That's a PowerShell formatting nicety. And there's other package managers. Chris Titus, the YouTube guy, is a fan of Chocolatey, but I don't have that. I like Scoop better. The way Chocolatey works versus Scoop. There's if we just cd into the Scoop directory here, it creates a bunch of shims, and all of the shims are basically all it has to do is add these shims. It just adds the shims directory to your path, so everything that's in the shims directory will be indexed by the OS as being there. And it also integrates into, like, say, a git bash window. Ain't that nice? It also works, and just to prove that it's an accidental pipe. To prove, this is a Mingu64 build of the git bash. There is also one of the problems there's several different like environments for doing Unixy stuff on Windows. So this is git bash, which is Mingu64, which stands for Minimal GNU Windows 64-bit edition. Git bash. You may also know git bash from its own terminal. This terminal is all actually. Let's see if it'll say. The terminal is Mintity. That's then just the name of the terminal. If you launch it, it will bring up a list, and then you can launch an MSys window instead of the git bash window, even though they're very similar configurations. They're installed in separate directories. They're different subsystems. This is not to be confused with WSL, the Windows subsystem for Linux, which is also misnamed, nor does it have anything to do with Cygwin, which is a different subsystem that basically just compiles everything else on Windows. I'm also fond of using that. Cygwin is pretty thorough. It has a GUI package manager, which is kind of fine unless you need to do things quickly. But I am honestly pretty surprised how good it actually is. If I just go Mingu64, check this out. Wait. Typos. Pac-Man. That's right. This is Mingu64 is actually Arch, by the way. It's the Pac-Man package manager. We can do an update just like you would on Arch. It's got all different repositories. It's got colors. It's got all the stuff, and it mostly works and is fine. I have had problems compiling things from the AUR, but I mean, you can just. It's Windows. You're expected to just open a browser and search for it and find it that way, which sucks. And I try to avoid that simply for the sake of avoiding it. This task view here, there are probably ways to get rid of this, but I don't know what they are. The start menu, you'll notice I haven't customized this much. I just made the bar smaller and let it auto hide. This desktop background it's simply, oh, that's what that does. Okay, perfect. This desktop background is simply my desktop background that I've recently added to my dot files. If you look, I haven't updated my README with it yet, but basically I took this picture, which is the, oh wow, zoom with the trackpad does the zoom stuff with also this computer is a touch screen, so I can just use my fingers. And it also has a pen built in that I never use. There it is. Pen. That I don't want to configure my damn pen. Go away. Linux never had this problem. There's just no pen configurator. That's why I like it. But so yeah, that's a thing. I just took this, and then there is an image. If you search up Haruhi Suzumiya stained glass, there is an image of use Google Images. Basically it's this image. This is the image, and I stole this image and I overlaid it on top of my my normal desktop background. I tried to make an image magic command for it, but I had to do it in GIMP because I just couldn't figure out the command line options, which sucks because I also can't figure out GIMP. But I did it eventually. You can kind of see though how like the shape is similar already, so it wasn't that hard to just overlay it onto there. So there's only one. I don't know who made this. They did make it flipped vertically. 2009. Wait, no way this picture was made in 2009. I refuse to believe that. Anyway, that's enough of that. Go away. Pop up. Yeah, so basically it's it was just a matter of combining those. And now I have my own desktop background. And I'm also using it for my YouTube channel. Let me see if it's not there. Okay, that makes sense. Let me check my old name. It's not there. Let me see if it was using an escape character. Never mind. Okay, I don't care. Anyway, if you click on my channel, you'll find lots of other horrible stuff like this. By the way, all those noises, that's the dog in the background. I'm dog sitting for my dad. I'm not giving him enough attention because it's not physically possible to, but also because I'm just not. tangents. Yeah, that's about all I wanted to say. Also, ArchWiki is amazing. Also, for some reason, my browser plugin continues to be broke. My NeoVim browser plugin continues to be broken. The idea is that you can like edit text fields. Like if I were to try and just make, I can't make a new pull request because whatever. Anyway, all this is to say, all of which is to say, I'm using Windows on this computer right now, and it's fine somehow. And that's all I gotta say about that. I'm surprised how when I just look up the guides to do things, they work. They don't not work as much as I thought they would. There are some problems, again with the Emacs. You know, it's not completely ideal, but it is a thing. Oh, one thing I did want to mention. What's this site? Okay. Oh dear. Okay. One thing I did want to mention. What was it? Oh yeah. So the keyboard settings. So my caps lock key is bound to escape. This is the Microsoft Power Toys. It is an app that's available in the Microsoft Store, but don't worry, it's not a Microsoft Store kind of app. It's like for actually doing useful stuff. It's got a whole bunch of just improvements to the OS that they didn't feel like bundling for some godforsaken reason. It's basically GNOME tweaks, but for Windows. And one of its features is key remaps, as you can see here. Okay. And so I just remapped caps lock to escape, and this works in your usual apps. However, it doesn't work in apps that you're running as an administrator. So what you have to do to make that work is always start PowerToys as administrator. It'll say always run as administrator, and you just enable that, and also run at startup, and that should make your key bindings just work in a majority of apps. There are many other ways to make it. Alt Function F4. There. Oh, I've closed too much. So there are other ways, to be sure, of doing the key remapping. There's auto hotkey. If you know that scripting language, you can do that. There is also several little projects on GitHub made in C or whatever that either run as a daemon or get launched at startup and exit after like changing the registry. I believe there's also a registry hack for it, but all of that stuff, I found that I can never get the same one. One time I set one of those up and it just worked forever, and every subsequent time I've tried to set up on a different Windows install, I've somehow run across different ones each time, and none of them work as well as that first one that I found. And so the way to do it is with PowerToys. You just open PowerToys, and it just does it. That is the only way to do it. This is the preview version of PowerToys because I don't know, that's just what it came up with, and I'm happy with it. Let me see, what else? Windows has a couple good features. It also has bad features. So some of the bad features are the ads, obviously, and it does. If you search it's pushing the AI, the Bing AI, because that's a thing now. Another bad thing is just kind of the inflexibility of the UI. You know, you're never going to get wobbly windows, and theming is not as good. Keyboard shortcuts are more difficult to change, although again, Power Toys. Also, I've got this weird error where, oh, there it goes. So what's this then? Wait, can I just drag everything away from that? I can't. That is weird and dumb, and I hate it. Cool, thanks. Yeah. Okay, I've got a phantom spot on my taskbar. There used to be something there, but it got removed. But apparently it didn't get removed. Also, you know, updates, of course, everybody hates Windows updates. They're also trying to shill Windows 11, which I don't want. I set this up without an online account. Unlike previous installs, I usually do an online account just because I can't figure out how to not. But yeah, right now, Wi-Fi 6, I know. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. System tray actually works, unlike Linux. Linux, I never bother with system tray because it's always broken, but here it seems to be a little bit less broken. Like if it's there and it just works, I'll keep it. I think the documents and pictures things are relevant here because you could just open the File Explorer and there are, look, documents, look, pictures. That's a little bit pointless, but I mean, this is the operating system made for normies, so I mean, what are you gonna do? There's this stuff is this Microsoft Office thing is fake. It's not real. It's just a launcher to install the worst version of the already like garbage suite of software. Here's the other thing about Windows is PowerShell. PowerShell is also, why is it showing 6 when 7 is like the good version now? Windows comes with PowerShell 5. If we just look at the value of PS version table, is 5.1 desktop edition of Windows for Windows 10. That's why the build number is 10. There is no uname. Oh. If we open WinVer, which is the uname of Windows, we can see that it doesn't actually say what the kernel version is, but basically the Windows kernel, the Windows 10 uses the NT kernel. They created it for Windows NT in the year 2000 and then upgraded it for XP up through everything else, which is, it's the one that's not DOS, basically. And so in Windows 8, the kernel was at like version 6 or something, and then when they made Windows 10, they just upgraded all of the versions of everything to 10. So now PowerShell is build 10. The kernel, the NT kernel, is version 10. It's like some bad versioning, but fine, kinda. Because I mean, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. What am I trying to say? Yeah. The ISE here is an integrated scripting environment. It's like, it's got a whole bunch of, you can click on things and like add them to scripts, but it's not really worth it because it was just Emacs. You could just make What? Oh, LSP is trying to download in the background. powershell, that's the one. And it's going to try and do that. Yeah. This is, okay, there it goes. Anyway, PowerShell, people say it's bad because it's not like Bash, but the thing is, it's actually way better. This is not the video on PowerShell. I was going to do a video. I had like a script halfway done, and then I forgot, and I couldn't. It wasn't working out, so I scrapped it. Also, I don't really do scripts that well, so that was part of why I scrapped it. It was going to be like a presentation or an article or something, just about how to use PowerShell, how to get around, how to convert shell snippets on the internet into PowerShell. Wait. Sure. I guess import this. No. Nothing. There we go. Okay, so LSP is broken. Cool. So we're going to quit that window. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but PowerShell is actually pretty decent as a command shell. You can do, like, if you want to know what 5 plus 7 is, it's just has that. 5 times 7 is just the times the multiple symbol, and then 5 over 7 is divided, and then minus is just a hyphen. So that's pretty nice. The math is decent math. It's what you'd expect. It also does type. It has data types, unlike Bash or POSIX shell, and that can be. It actually, okay, PowerShell doesn't just have data types. It actually has all of the data types, because PowerShell is a layer running on top of C#, the .NET environment, which is basically just C# language. Oh, that's mail. Close all windows. What? Why is it not? Okay. Apparently my ghost taskbar icon is mail. Yeah. You can also make, like, say, hash tables. So I'm just going to create one in place here. Test equals 5. Can you do that? There we go. And it'll just return the representation of the object. It's an ad hoc object. Similarly to how you would just evaluate like a function in eLisp. It's the same idea. It just like creates a list, and you can put as many elements as you want in it. And they can have different types in them. You can like nest them. Actually, let me show you what nesting looks like. It looks like that. You've got a and then you can access them with dot querying. So like the two of it's essentially key value pairs, but the value can have a key as well, and it will just drill you down to where you want. And if it's a table inside of a table, it'll just do a simplified syntax like this. If it's just a plain table, it'll have a nice little column view, and if it's just a simple string or a number or something, it'll just print the one line. And it's smart about that output like that. Like if ls here is actually get child item, it's not ls proper. Now a lot of people will complain about PowerShell's curl, and they'll say that curl is PowerShell curl is broken. They'll say PowerShell curl is broken because this is clearly not the same as this. They will say that this is not the same as this. However, what they are overlooking is that this, is that it actually is the same as this. It is it returns an object, it's not a hash table technically, but it's a bunch of key value pairs, and the value of the content key is just straight up the same info that you would get with the Unix curl command, and the other keys are for things that you would want, like it pulls all of the links out of here. Like with normal curl, you would have to do some parsing to achieve that, but the basic PowerShell curl just has that, and this is in version 7 as well. Version 5, they base it on Internet Explorer optionally. That's why I just put curl. It didn't work because it was complaining about Internet Explorer not being launched for the first time. Basically, it tries to use Internet Explorer, but if you just tell it to use basic, which is this option, it will give you the stuff you want. And there are lots of ways to do this. PowerShell also does just let you use Internet Explorer, though. For example, we can I don't remember exactly how to do it, but there is a way. New object, com object, and then that's wrong. It's just completing from my files. Let me search it up real quick because I don't remember. It's called, you just make a Internet Explorer.application. That's what it is. And case doesn't matter in PowerShell, so you just do this, exploder.visible equals true, and then boom, it opens up Internet Explorer. I have tested this. This also works on Windows 11 straight up. We can also just explorer.visit. Browse URL there's a whole bunch of oh, it's navigate. It's called navigate. If we just use my website as an example, as you can see, it navigates to that website. Ask me later, I don't care. Go away. See, now it sees it as a real Internet Explorer, but if you just use it from PowerShell, it doesn't need that. It just works. And you can actually basically you can puppeteer the Internet Explorer window just from PowerShell. I believe there is a version of this for other browsers called Selenium, but Windows just lets you do it out of the box. There are some concerns, there are some things that it doesn't want you to do, but you can get around them very easily and just do it, and quit. Boom, and it's gone. Check that. Isn't that just a cool? I think that's a pretty cool thing. Next step is to integrate it into Emacs. I've played a little bit around with trying to like mesh eLisp and PowerShell somehow, but it's never really taken shape. I could probably get it to work knowing what I do now about how Emacs works and sub-processes, but PowerShell on Linux especially does have some quirks. On Windows though, well, it's Windows that has the quirks. Like for example, if I do metx, if I run a terminal, the terminal fails. If I run eShell, eShell will work. It'll be able to do its eShell stuff. But it doesn't really work very well. It breaks. Basically, there's problems with process communication on Windows. It only lets you create so many pipes at once. Getting my configuration bootstrapped was a bit of a pain because the package manager, which I'm using, it needs to create symlinks and it needs to create lots of parallel processes. And those are both things that Windows sucks at. So I ended up just running Emacs as administrator to get them all installed, and even then I had to like force it to reinstall a whole bunch of stuff in little bite-sized pieces. So overall, as the Saturday night kind of midpoint of this, I would give Windows a 5. It's surprisingly fine, but like I'd much rather be using Linux. That's all I gotta say for now, and goodbye.